Yes, people. Yes. Pochettino has been, well, could you say he's been sacked? Could you mutual consent? However you want to label it. Some Chelsea fans must be buzzing. Some might actually be upset. But we're going to talk about that with Dan and Mons, who's going to turn up in a second. But more than just Chelsea, we're going to be also talking up. Well, it can't just all be about a Chelsea stream. Let's be real. But we're going to talk about Arsenal. What more do they need to win? And then obviously Man City as well, aka Martin's here as well, because they will only just get better. And we could probably talk a little bit around that as like the whole consensus, because Dawood, man, I can't lie. You're lucky today. And I'm going to tell you why you're lucky.
Why?
Daps had a video for me that you made a few months ago. Yeah. So he keeps a lot of the receipts, and you wrote something up. I think you was like a point clear, and you talk about he's going to go win the league and the Champions League and stuff like that. So
there's no evidence of that.
There's big boy evidence. There's big boy evidence, and I swear down, I was so ready to play it, but you're lucky anyways. We're gonna have a little bit of a debate. Mons will be here in a second as well. Dan, I ain't got a clue what's going on with his little bit. He says device is not connected. But yeah, what you lot saying, Dawood, man? We got a big game on Friday.
Yeah. I'm buzzing. I've never played on a Premier League pitch. First time. I think if I don't score minimum 3 goals, then I'm going to be disappointed. That's all I want to say.
See, this is going to get recorded, people, right? And I got to sort out the starting lineup. And basically, long story short, Roms is on the right, Mons is on the left, and I got Dawood in a 10. I might switch him on the wing if he's more comfortable, because he said he's rapid. But we also got Mons who's capable of doing a 10. And we've got man like Tom FM up front with his 6'4" self. So yeah, man, it should be, you think I'm going to play inverted because you think I'm going to do it running? No chance. But yeah, look, we're going to start off, Dan, with your, actually, tell a lie. I think Dan should be there because I believe he might be managing us.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Dan's actually going to manage us, and he's going to do it because I'm not doing all the minutes. I can't be bothered because I'll just give myself 60 minutes. So, yeah, so that should be good as well. But yeah, man, Dan, your club decided to part ways with Poch. And let me tell you now, I am very, very surprised. I thought with the club trajectory, the way it's going, the way you had Cole Palmer playing, you know, you scored about what? How many goals did Chelsea score? About 80 goals this season, 79 goals?
Probably thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling? Because I've tuned into a bit of your live, and you was actually probably the only Chelsea fan that was like, why? Questioning why.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are celebrating, obviously, but I think the issue for me is, and there's been times when I've called for Pochettino's head this season, I just think it's come at the wrong time. Like, why didn't this happen when we were getting battered? When we were awful around Christmas time? We were 12th in the league. We had like a January transfer window coming up where it could all have been resolved with a different manager. We could have even won trophies and got top 4 if they got the right manager, in my opinion. But it just has come at the wrong time. I don't know if Poch has walked. I don't know if the board's decided to sack him. My gut feeling is that the board have sacked him. I think he's asked the board to do something and they've not agreed. And then ultimately he's obviously been allowed to leave in a polite fashion that kind of keeps a little bit of his respect and his image alive, basically. And I think Chelsea now actually come out of this looking like the fools. I really do, because Pochettino ultimately had us playing well, and it was like everyone's been saying, just wait, give him time, this will click, blah, blah, blah. And then now, ultimately, we've got rid of him at the wrong time.
What are you saying about that, Dawood, man? Because is it the wrong time? Because I'm not gonna sit here and say Poch didn't deserve to get sacked about 5 months ago. I was like, if Chelsea are serious, they get rid of this man. But then all of a sudden in 2024, they're like 3rd in the league table in points. You know, he had them cooking bar a couple games. And you could literally see it probably was a Poch. I know I can say, and you can say easily, some of his decisions have been very questionable, the Gallagher stuff and whatnot. But then some of the stuff has been very, very right, in my opinion. Like you could say Mark Cucurella inverting You know, he got the best
Yeah.
out of Gusto when James wasn't there. You know, he tried to find a centre-back pairing that was decent enough. He got Caicedo. I don't care what Mons tells me when he gets here. I think he's been balling out for the last half a year, right?
Yeah.
I think he's been very, very good. You know, stuff like that. That to do with injuries.
I'm not sure what kind of direction they're going, because I remember when they first came in, Todd Bowley and the owners. I remember when they first came in, they gave Thomas Tuchel was a couple of games, got rid of him, and they said, we're gonna go for a young manager, we're gonna go for a project. They got Graham Potter in, and obviously that didn't work out. Frank Lampard just for a short term, period, and then they got rid of Frank Lampard. Got in Pochettino, and Pochettino is more of a guy that's going to settle the team. It's going to give them a couple of seasons, get them back into the Champions League, and eventually, when they're a bit more settled, the players are getting used to the Premier League, a top manager going to come in, a manager that can help Chelsea win the Premier League and the Champions League. And it feels like Chelsea were on a progression. They were getting better. I think they've got the third most points out of after Arsenal and Man City in 2024. Caicedo's looking better. Cole Palmer obviously has been great all season. Jackson's getting better. There's a bit of signs of Modric getting a little bit better. Their back four were getting settled. And I don't know where. I think it must have been. There was rumors that Pochettino wasn't involved in the transfers and he wasn't getting the players that he wanted. I'm not sure if that's true or not. And I think he wanted more of a say in who comes in, what kind of player that they wanted. And I think Pochettino and Todd Bowley probably were in disagreement, and he probably thought, I can't do this anymore. I need more control. I need to know where we're going. And there's rumors that Ineos are interested in Pochettino, so there might be rumors that
Mate, apparently we're interested in fucking Princess Diana, Queen Elizabeth. Mate, we're interested in everyone. There's more interest from Licky Lipshot with Astrid Wet. So, do you know what I mean?
And
like,
do you know what it is? Pochettino at Man United will be a better move for him, because Man United are used to having managers for 2 or 3 seasons. They're more likely to keep a manager than Chelsea. Like someone said in the comments, Chelsea have had 7 managers in 8 years. 7 managers in 8 years. This is like some erratic movement by the owners. Who they're going to go for? De Zerbi. And De Zerbi is the type of manager who can fall out with the owners out of nowhere. He fell out with the Brighton owners, and Brighton owners are probably one of the most, they pump money into their manager, they help their managers. And if he's falling out with the Brighton owners, then if he goes to Chelsea a season later, Todd Bowley and De Zerbi, similar story. And if it's a situation where they bring in a young manager like McKinnon from Ipswich, and they bring him in, and they end up finishing 7th or 8th, that's going backwards again. And Chelsea going to turn into a yo-yo club where they give a manager a couple of a season, they don't know where they're going, sack him, bring another manager in. So it's, I was so shocked about that. I was so shocked that Pochettino left, but it is.
Well, Martin, this is where the banter might get a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how Dan feels about it, but they've been linked. Do you want to know? Do you know who they've been linked to? Do you want me to give you a list of names?
Yeah, I know they've been linked. They've been linked to Pep.
Huh?
Pep. Hang on, they've been linked with Pep and all sorts. I know.
I'll tell you, they've also been linked with Kieran McKenna, Michelle from Girona. Let me get some others up as well. Thomas Frank is another name. The dude from Stuttgart that turned down Bayern Munich called Honus. Imagine that. Yeah. Vincent Kompany. And I believe there might be another name in there, but one of them names was not De Zerbi, weirdly enough. Now,
yeah, it's a mad one. I'm baffled. It's like Chelsea get a little bit of progress, start showing a little, like the signs for going. Finally get the growth. Nah, sat that. I don't get it. I don't know what Bowley's doing. It's a mad one. Apparently they've come out, haven't they, and said they want this Pep Guardiola style of football, controlling and all this. Yeah, they want all this football and Poch. So I don't know what they're trying to go after anymore. It's a mad one. I got a rumor this evening on something as well.
Oh,
which
we like them.
The Jack Grealish to Chelsea thing is a real possibility.
Oh, that's a rumor.
But also, Cole Palmer coming home will also be that possibility because that's the only way that deal gets done.
Okay, so that's not happening then. That's a golden boy not going for another one that's at the end of his career, nearly. Can you imagine that? That sounds like hope from City fans more than an actual strong enough rumor, innit?
No, to me, I said it. I don't mind either way. We'll get onto the City part in a bit, but there's a big thing coming up at City soon. Massive rejig. But no, I don't know what direction Chelsea are going to go in. None of the managers would excite me.
No.
None of them.
No, not as a
Company
building. Not
far
as a
too
building,
soon. Too soon for Company. I even think apparently Company's favourite for going in at Bayern Munich. I find that astonishing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's too soon to jump from Burnley to Bayern.
Well, they've actually linked Pochettino to Bayern today as well. Funny enough.
I don't know what's going on. There was that rumour yesterday De Zerbi had signed this pre-contract somewhere.
Yeah, we don't know who yet.
Nobody knew where. Is it me or has football just gone crazy in the last 24 hours? God knows what tomorrow's going to bring.
It's going to get a lot worse. I'm telling you that now. This summer's going to be mad.
The thing is, it's not just Chelsea. It's even Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are they're Tuchel in and out. They don't know. Even Man United with obviously
don't know.
They don't know who they're going to keep him standing. Even Barcelona and Xavi, he was leaving. Then he said he wants to stay. Then he was leaving again.
Now he's staying again.
4 or 5 clubs where they're not even sure. They want to get rid of the manager. Then they realize, oh, there's no one available to get. Okay, you want to stay, and then they realize that we don't want him anymore. We're gonna get rid of. So I think this year has been.
Do you know what it
crazy
is? There's so many. Excuse my French, but there's so many shit journalists who just literally make shit up for fun. Like
Jacob Steinberg. There you go. There's one.
Like we don't even know what's going on. Like I literally saw in the paper this morning, or not the paper, just on Twitter and stuff, like from one of the newspapers, that Poch was staying and it was all rosy, but he'd probably been dismissed on Friday and was allowed his last game in the Premier League on Sunday. Like people don't have a clue, and they're just there for engagement farming, and they're there to put stories out, and they're literally making stuff up. And then it just sees whatever one gets the most traction. And if the story runs, then the story runs, and then it changes the next day. I just don't believe it. Like Chelsea said ages ago that apparently this was going to be assessed at the end of the season. Arguably, that's exactly like what happened. And that story is the most legit story, that it got to the end of the season and they've ultimately decided to part ways, whether that's Poch deciding that it wasn't working, or whether that's the board deciding that it wasn't working, or they both sat down on Friday at this so-called dinner that they went to, Bowley and Poch, and basically just agreed to disagree. Pochettino probably asked for experience, probably asked for players not to be sold, and Bowley was like, we probably can't do that. Shall we? We like you. We don't want to sack you. Do you want to leave? Probably something along those lines. Or they're like, don't question us. We'd rather you leave than we have to sack you. So I just think it's an absolute mess. I think Bayern Munich are a club that are in a completely different situation to Chelsea, though, because they're a mess. They don't know what direction they're heading in. They don't know who to appoint. But the thing with the Chelsea owners is their absolute motive behind any decision is purely money and financial base. Whereas I don't think that's actually a fact with Bayern Munich. I just don't think they know what is the best direction for them to head in from a football point of view.
Yeah, I have to agree. By the way, Ilyas here says, but did Poch get sacked? Maybe he didn't want to work under these owners, probably didn't get the players that he wanted, which is kind of discussing as well at the same time.
Surely he knew that, though. Do you know what I mean? Coming into the job, surely he knew he weren't going to get the players he wanted. They must have made that clear when they interviewed, and he's like, I want to sign these players. They're like, no, we're going to give you this squad. Work with the squad and work with the players we give you.
Unless he got promised, maybe he got promised a couple of things that they just didn't want to give him at the time.
You know what one I think really is, if it's really caused an issue, is they've got their little tight-knit coaching team that he's taken everywhere with him. And next season they're bringing in the set pieces coach from Brentford, and Poch straight up denied a set piece coach, and then one was coming in. So I think that obviously didn't go down well.
Oh, by the way, guys, 300 people in here. Please smash the like button. We are 14 off of 100 as well. Likes are super important. You know how it goes in the game. Every streamer, everyone asks for likes, even whether it's TikTok or whether it's Instagram. likes are just always the bread and butter. You know how it goes. So if you haven't done so yet, big up yourselves. And yeah, look, currently we're talking on Poch. We will talk a little bit on Arsenal as well, what they need, and also Man City only getting better. So it's going to be a bit of a 2-horse race, potentially maybe some dark horses we can throw in there as well. But yeah, I was gonna even throw this little bit in a spanner with them then. Like, so we saw Graham Potter get sacked mid-season. It didn't really work. They got Frank Lampard in, and obviously, They waited to get their man in, which was Pochettino at that time, I think it was. He got announced. Do you think then, maybe, let me ask Monts, because you probably spoke about this already. Do you reckon Chelsea might be in a bit of a pickle where they have to reset with a new manager again, where it can maybe alter some of these players' forms, the way their styles are, etc., etc.? Do you think they could be on a reset once again?
Bro, what did I say at the start of the season? Remember when me and Don had the argument about Chelsea's project being attractive? And I said, bro, you man are hire and fire FC. Stop trying to convince the world that you man have changed. And I know you remember that specific stream, bro. When I said these man are hire and fire FC, but they're going to try to convince the world under this new regime that they've changed with the lengthy contracts and shit. These man are the same institution. It's just that daddy's money is daddy's shitty money now. Like, it's not Abramovich rare success. It's a new era. It's I call it the Bowleyverse. And in the Bowleyverse, it's been 2 years and you're about to touch your 6th manager.
Yeah.
There is no certainty around the club right now. And don't get me wrong, Poch ain't helped himself. He hasn't helped himself. But the last 5 to 7 games for Chelsea Football Club, you could even say since 2024, but the last 5 to 7 games to be more specific, it's beginning to click. Now, I think Poch deserved at least another window and the start of next season to see if, to carry on and see if this was either a purple patch or if it was actually Poch finally making things work, But Chelsea are hiring Fire FC, and in my opinion, if you look at the shortlist that they've got, Kaz, bro,
it's sinking. We went through it.
Yeah. So who are those guys? Those guys aren't screaming more. It doesn't fit the bill more than Poch. If anything, they're the same type of managers as Poch. So let's say Chelsea are 9th place in this game week 9. Are we just going to be in an infinite loop of this isn't good enough, get the manager out after 9 game weeks? Hire and fire again.
You know what I don't understand? Yeah, it's like they fell out with Tuchel, right? And understandably, Tuchel is kind of that character, right, Dan? Like he's that character, right? Pochettino comes in. He's known as a yes man, and clearly he's fell out with this board as well. So the next person they get in is like, is it really the manager anymore, or is it Clear Lake, like, and all these people there that just might be the actual issue? The thing is, I think they're at real risk right now. I think right now this would be a real risk for Chelsea, and I can see why fans are going to be excited, but yet be on edge. Because if you do go through another cycle like that, then it goes to show that Poch was right not to sack Poch at that point, because he was building something. Like, you can't, people in the comments, right? You can't sit here and be shameless, and even as a Chelsea fan, and say, you know what? We got Tuna, and he's like, all we need is a competent striker, right? You create abundance of chances, and maybe shore up the defense a little bit more with maybe a centre back and a couple other options of quality. And then you say, let's see where he goes from there. Surely he does well in the season again, because Chelsea, when they come against the top 6, you clearly had something going on, right? When it comes to the smaller sides, it was like, can we break them down? And then you started to break them down, and then before you know, like, you did a lot with, like, pretty much after, other than Man United, I think, or maybe you did it before. I think Chelsea were the first team to really make Aston Villa crumble. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't want to oversell it, because there are issues, but at the same time, Dan, there was a lot going right, and it's like, it's Cole Palmer. Like, the whole point is building around Cole Palmer. It's like, is he going to have that replication again? And is he going to have that relationship? Clearly, he needs a good relationship with the manager. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate. I think you make a lot of good points. I think the most important thing I think Chelsea fans need to remember is how poor we were for a long time in the season. We were really off it. But then I felt like I was probably a bit impatient. I probably didn't really realise the task that was at hand, gelling all these new players together that have barely got any experience between them. The fact that Pochettino, he's going to have different ideas to what the players have been educated as youngsters. And I just think the issue is that there was quite a lot of issues that we all felt like as fans could have been rectified really quickly, and they weren't. And it probably took 25, 30 games too many. And there's some real high profile ones and mismanagement and things that he said in press conferences didn't go down well. I think he was kind of almost making people aware that he was going to be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season, saying that he hadn't heard from the board in 2 months, saying that he could go if he wanted to. He doesn't care if he does get sacked, saying he did the interview twice, suggesting that his coaching staff could walk out if they wanted to. They aren't happy. He just a few things towards the end of the season saying it's not my squad, it's Chelsea's squad. I think that's kind of, if you read between the lines, it was evident it was coming. But I do agree with you that within the last 5 to 10 games, there was something was happening. There was an understanding. Whether Poch had his hands forced into that, and that ultimately meant that he learned. I'm not sure how he got to it, but he eventually learned, and things clicked into place, and Chelsea were getting results, and he was making better substitutions, and kind of, it's almost like, was he putting himself back in the shop window? I just don't know how to read into it too much, but yeah, I just can't get over the mess that the club have put themselves in again, going into another summer when I feel like actually stability was proven to be the best thing for the club.
So let me ask you, Dawood, then. Give me a couple names that improves on just on a name basis then.
Managers.
Yeah, managers that are available right now. That's actually that you can go and secure. Who actually does a better job at this moment of time? That's probably a given.
For me, there's 2 managers.
Go on.
One is Thomas Frank. I think Thomas Frank, the style of football that Chelsea plays, similar to style of football that Brentford play. I think he is on the verge of getting to that next level of, he's been managing Brentford. Brentford have never been in a relegation battle. And I think Chelsea are on a level where they haven't got the team to get a manager that's going to be challenging for the title. I think they need to get a manager to help them get into the top 4. And Thomas Frank is that kind of manager. I think he should deserve to get a top 6 team, to manage a top 6 team. And another manager where I'm not sure if he's staying or not is Diego Simeone. I think Simeone, this might be his last season at Atletico Madrid, or next season might be his last season. Chelsea should be going for him because he's that kind of manager where he would get Chelsea back. And I would be worried if they got someone like Simeone. And I'll be thinking, yeah, Chelsea might be back. And if they give him the money and if they give him the time, he might cause a bit of havoc. So Simeone and Thomas Frank for me.
Let me ask you then, Martin. Thomas Frank.
What is this? Without Jesus.
Oh my gosh, Martin, I love
Thomas
that
Frank?
response, man.
Go on. Sorry,
What's wrong with
Ryan?
Thomas Frank? You man laugh at Thomas Frank like he's like a mid-table manager. I think Thomas Frank.
He ain't even
But he
mid-table,
is.
bro. Get it real.
He is a mid-table manager.
Come on.
No. In what basis? No, Mons, are you hearing this? Come on, man. Like, why are you not even? Are you hearing? Man said Thomas Frank, G. Like, we're talking about.
This is where Chelsea are at, bro. Get used to it. This is where these men are at.
He
Because
doesn't
bro,
even play
no, because these fuckers laughed at Arnie Slot. They laughed at Arnie Slot, bro. They even tried the cheeky little cackle at Amarim. Tried a cheeky little laugh at Amarim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
I agree with that. They put themselves into this little situation. They totally put themselves into it.
Chelsea in a situation now where they can get.
I just think it's funny, bro. Like there was a little chuckle at Slot, a little bit of a chuckle at Amarim. Now these man would kill for an Amarim now, compared to the list.
Who was chuckling?
They'd kill for an Amarim. I'm just saying.
He's twerking for the Premier League.
You man are on your knees for a De Zerbi or an Amarim, and don't get me wrong, the shortlist isn't horrific, but it's like I think Roy from the chat put it perfectly.
Oh, I thought you meant he was on the shortlist.
You man don't know what you want. You don't know whether you want a project. You don't know whether you want to do the process, or you don't know whether you want to try and win now. Personally, to even think you man can win now is cheeky as fuck. I think that's cheeky, bro. Like I think that's so.
See, I don't think they've got that bad a squad. When you actually put the squad on paper,
Amarim, that's
it's actually quite a really good squad. The midfield's better than a lot of other midfielders in the league.
On paper,
To be fair,
Yeah, yeah. It needs
I-
balance.
No, but that's what I mean. But no, I know on paper, but it needs someone to come in and get it right. I don't think Chelsea are too far away from going back to a top 40.
But you can't
It's
keep
getting
giving
it
them-
right.
But Martin, you can't keep giving a manager 10 months and tell him to fuck off.
No,
Like,
that's my point. But I don't think Thomas Frank's there. Thomas Frank will go. I disagree with that. So,
Thomas
no,
Frank is the same
I'm not even
appointment
saying
as
getting rid of
Potter.
Poch isn't the maddest thing. Getting rid of Poch is not the craziest thing because of how bad it got at times for Chelsea this season. But like, I would have expected a kind of a little, maybe a different. Like, I would have expected like a Flick, Nagelsmann, that type of shortlist. Deserve
Yeah.
those
Flick-
three.
Flick
If
said no.
that was the shortlist, bro, I'd go. You know what? Say nothing. These man on. These man. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'd say say no more.
what's De Zerbi done in the Premier League to have him on a higher level than Thomas Frank?
But easy, he's actually competed in Europe. That's the
No,
only
but he
thing I
hasn't
think-
really achieved that much. Thomas
no,
Frank.
he hasn't.
Well, he has.
He-
He ain't got. He got Brighton into Europe.
Yeah,
True.
but look at the team that they've got. And look at the team that Brentford have. And look
So
at
what's
the
Thomas Frank done? What's Thomas Frank done to get a Chelsea job? Finish 10th.
16th
No,
and 10th. It's
no,
outrageous statement.
Brentford finished 16th this season, yeah. But
10th
they were
the
never in a
season before.
relegation battle. The season before, they did really well as well. So, like, De Zerbi, he did well one season where they finished 6th. This season, they finished 11th, where
He done
Can
better
you
than,
really
but Dodi done better than Thomas Frank with the sheer amount of injuries that they had, bro. They had no one.
Yeah, literally.
Brentford have had a lot of injuries as
No,
well.
they've
Yeah,
had
they have
injuries
had
under
injuries,
Tony.
They've had a lot of injuries as
But-
well.
But like they've missed Mbuemo all season, yeah. But they've also missed someone like a Stupinan all season as well. Like,
Ivan Toney.
they missed Ivan
Toney.
Tony, but these lot have been starving with Welbeck up front all year, and
Yeah,
they've,
but
they've
it
had
weren't
no. And
like
they've had no.
Mbuemo weren't scoring
yeah,
as
but-
well.
Like what about Matoma? He's been missing all season. What about that one?
Yeah.
And Ciso was missing for quite a
Ferguson
lot.
got injured. Ferguson
Yeah,
got injured. Yeah.
And the thing is, we got
demolished.
if we're deep in it, if we actually put it into context, anyways, right? It's already been said that in Chelsea want someone like Pep, basically attacking manager that can control the football and all that kind of stuff.
Which is
Instantly,
not Thomas Frank.
Unfortunately, Thomas Frank plays counter-attacking football and 5 at the back at times. And
Yeah, long
also, on
ball
top of
stuff
that,
as well.
Diogo Simeone is not, mate, that guy costs an arm and a leg.
He's definitely not
He's the
Pep
highest
football
paid
cast.
manager in the world. Do you think the board are paying for it? No chance.
No chance. I just don't see it. So when
They're
when you're
wasting
deep,
so much money sacking managers. How much did he pay? Was it who did you have before? Graham Potter. You gave him like £20 million to just sack him.
no, I don't think it was 20 million. No, it was something like 12 million, I believe, or 10.
Yeah, I
11,
think
but
something like that.
12, 13.
Yeah, Chelsea. How much are they going to spend now to get rid of Pochettino? Because he had like 1 year left in his contract.
Well,
I don't
And
know.
you-
If Pochettino's walked, he might have sacrificed the money to protect his name.
I'm not sure. Oh,
Yeah, they were a bit clever at this time. They only
Yeah, I
gave him
think
a
so.
2-year deal. They gave him a 2-year deal with a
That's it.
1-year kick.
You're
in
bang
there.
on mine.
Yeah,
Potter
and
had
to
a
be,
So
5-year
they were
deal.
clever. They were clever in that way.
and the funny thing is, with the names mentioned, I was actually quite shocked that De Zerbi. You know what? To be fair, it could still be De Zerbi though. Like it still could be. Like instantly, there's a release clause that just got triggered, and then instantly we just found out Poch got sacked. Do you get what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
maybe that might be.
In
the
it
link. That's what
weird, in it weird that 2 managers have gone into their end of season meeting because this is what happened with De Zerbi apparently. He goes
Go on.
into his meeting with Tony Bloom, and they just cannot agree on the moving forward strategy.
Mm.
So De Zerbi's gone. All right, see you later then. Apparently, Poch's or whoever's done the same thing. You know, it does make me laugh at the minute because I understand owners and chairmen and chief execs want to have a say. I understand that. That's why we call them coaches now and not managers. We've put in the continental part, and now we've got all these sporting directors and chief execs. And I get it, but a manager still needs to have some sort of a say in what they're doing.
Chelsea.
Otherwise, the players, but the players don't always buy into it. I don't think any football club has full control over transfers anymore, but they've got to have some control. Otherwise, you can't buy into the project. You can't buy into the style of play.
the manager, the director of football, the technical director have all got to be in cohesion. At the end of the day, that's the whole point. That's what the whole point of what Michael
Monts knows that. It's Liverpool. Why they were so
Yeah.
celebrating Michael Edwards coming back.
standard,
Mm.
and that's why I probably clocked why he walked. You know, Pep Ticky
Yeah.
and what's the other guy called? He gives that S. Serrano, they're all in cohesion. Look at that's why it worked. Look at Arsenal's system right now with all three. You're like Edu, Arteta, and
Josh
why would
Kroenke.
the other, Josh Kroenke. They're all in cohesion. It's just the way it goes. With Chelsea, it'll be anyways. With Chelsea, it'll just be interesting. I just don't know. It's crazy in world football right now. We say sacking Pochettino, right? Or whatever, and we can't even think of a good enough manager that can replace them and bring them up a notch. The only one I can think of potentially is a Hansi Flick.
Do you know what's mad,
there's a
Cass?
few, Cass.
Sorry,
There's
go
a
on, Dom.
few. But sorry,
Yeah,
mine. Yeah,
But
there's
it's
a
not a
couple.
given. It's not a given though. It's not a
Yeah,
given.
but it's
you know
not
what I
a
mean?
given because of the evidence that this Chelsea board and directors have given us, like to suggest they won't go and approach those managers. And also what Mont said as well is that, like, why is a manager going to risk coming to Chelsea now when everyone could see Pochettino was getting a tune out of his players, right? Something had clicked. No one saw this coming. They're thinking, why would I go anywhere near that shambles of a club? What are the chances now, that next season Chelsea actually improve? It's so slim. It's so slim compared
What
to
about
what it was
coming
yesterday.
for a retirement payoff? It's a pension, isn't it, at the minute? Because they know within 18 months they're out the door and getting
Martin,
a payoff.
they're going to get
Dan, it's for the
the.
players as well. With Dan, it's disheartening for some of the players who probably
Yeah,
might not
spot on.
understand.
Of course it is, Mons. I don't
Like,
disagree.
Can you imagine
the
Cole
players-
Palmer? Well, listen, I love Cole Palmer, but
You seen his
he sat
Instagram?
there the season of his life, and now he doesn't know what the hell's going on next year.
Conor Gallagher's gone. Kukureya's probably gone. Calaba's probably gone.
No one's going to miss Conor Gallagher. Let's be honest.
Nah,
Except
they
for the-
will, mate. That they
Except
will.
for the no one's
You
missing
say
Conor
that,
Gallagher,
Cass,
mate.
but he turned up in
Nah,
every
Chelsea
single
will,
bleeding
mate.
big game. He turned up in all the
was
big
like the
games.
only player all season that didn't get injured for Chelsea.
Every time
That's
scored
cute,
in
innit? That's cute in it, yeah. But we're talking trying to be back on the pedestal again, and you want to give me names like Conor Gallagher,
Yeah, but-
like
yeah,
Bro, I'll take Conor Gallagher to the
you
very
can't-
top.
Bro, you
100%.
can't click your fingers and Chelsea are just going to be at the top again.
Nah.
I hate to say it, it's gonna, like, Darwood's gonna laugh at this, but it's gonna have to be a process. Chelsea aren't gonna buy ready-made and then bring in a manager like fucking the Ipswich manager, Kieran McKenna.
Nah, let him say far away.
And- You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
just
my
like,
guy, man.
bro, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
If I'm
you're
Kieran
bringing in
McKenna,
McKenna and Brian ready-made. It don't
Dare
make
I
sense.
say
Did he not wanna
Gareth
win?
Southgate? Gareth Southgate?
Oh,
I
nah,
mean, that's going to
Cass,
get linked
stop it,
soon.
man. Nah.
Proper Chelsea. You know what I mean? You love the Brexit? Give it the Brexit.
Bro, Chelsea
This
should go
needs
back
to be
to
done
thinking
before
about-
the Euro.
thought Southgate was going in your gaff.
Nah, we've already denied it. Like, as in, he's already been ruled out by Ornstein and that. So I don't give a shit anymore. So on that note, it's stuff one. But yeah, back to-
one thing about the
Shed
talking
ends.
about the process. Talking about process. Sometimes as a club, you might have to go backwards to go forward. I think with Chelsea, they were scared to go backwards to go forwards. With Pochettino was going to take him time. I think the pressure of him getting Champions League football this season was something that the owners were putting on him, and they shouldn't. He finished sixth, and I think next season, if he finished in the top four or finished fifth, that's still a good season for Chelsea. And I think Chelsea should have been a team that, you know, getting better slowly. And I think they're trying to move into that position where they want to get top four. And then there's rumors that the next manager has to get top four. The manager cannot finish below fourth next season, where it puts massive pressure on the manager coming in, where he thinks, I need to
I
get fourth. I need to
disagree.
get
You know
Champions League
what
football."
this is.
Sorry,
Go on.
I need to pull on this. I've got to
Go
pull on this because you sat there saying Chelsea might have to go a bit backwards. It's a process. Where was this common sense viewpoint on your own team?
What do you mean?
First time back in the Champions League, and you were doing the Champions League double. But bollocks to getting used to being in the Champions League for a year and getting your feet under the table. You were doing the double.
I'm not talking about fans' perspective. I'm talking about the owner's perspective. Okay, I'm talking about the sporting director.
Oh, okay. Just so I know, I'm crystal clear between a
because
fan perspective and an owner's
there were
perspective.
Chelsea fans that wanted Pochettino out. There was Chelsea fans that wanted Pochettino in. I think fans are usually emotional fans. They're emotional, and I think you cannot ask fans for their opinions on managers because they will speak on emotion. I think that's why you bring in sporting directors that are not that don't make decisions when it comes to like emotional decisions. And I think with Chelsea, with Arsenal, There's a video of Josh Kroenke speaking with Arteta where we were finishing 8th, and he was saying to him, "I see where you're going. I know where you're going. I'm gonna keep you. I'm not gonna sack you." So Arteta got offered a new contract the season that we finished 5th and we didn't get top 4. We bottled top 4. He got a new contract. That showed that the board trusted him. And with Pochettino and these owners, the owners are moving like the fans. Todd Bowley's moving like the fans. He's moving erratic. He's making decisions. He's making emotional decisions. And you don't need someone.
Nah.
You don't need someone like that.
I can't lie. I don't have
controlling
to disagree on something. With the investment of Chelsea's squad and what players of caliber that they've got at the moment of time and what they're going to bring in, I don't think 5th or 6th is great for them at all. They have to be looking at top 4.
You have
Otherwise,
to be
it's
realistic.
Man United.
realistic is that was achievable this season with the points drop, by the way.
Realistically, that's a Man United season because Man United's not got a good squad and they're in the shit and they got to build on something and identify yet again if they do opt for a new manager or whatever system they want.
Look at the amount of injuries Chelsea have had this season, and this is that European football. The amount of injuries. So if Chelsea got Champions League football next season, and the amount of injuries that they usually get, they've had major injuries the past 2 seasons. It's been crazy. They've had about 10, 15 first team players getting injured. And you're putting Champions League football plus Premier League football playing every 3 days. They would have had about 9 players available.
Well, if that's the case, they'll go out early then.
No, but I'm talking
But they've got about 40 players to choose from.
What's the point of being in the Champions League?
Yeah,
they did the Champions League.
No,
I think sometimes you need to know where you are. Would you have said it was too early to Man United to finish 3rd last season? It was too quick.
No, it wasn't.
Because you had high expectations, and
it was not too quick. He decided to opt for whatever players that he wanted to go grab. Obviously, you can't control what players get injured and stuff like that. But I'm not being funny. You at least get out of the group stage. It's not early. Newcastle's early. Brighton maybe being in Europa League might be a little bit too early. Aston Villa being in the Champions League next season might be
early.
Early.
That's early.
That's what you call early. A top club is not early. Like not when you've invested heavily and you've got ballers around.
Club, nowadays,
at least give it.
Club, you have to look at
you
the
go
team.
early. If you go out in the group stage, you go out.
They've not got a bad team. You actually look. They haven't actually got a bad team.
Let's be real. Copenhagen and Galatasaray, dog shit, mate. And guess what? We were worse. So we're worse than dog shit. We're piss. We're dog piss and shit mixed together. Bin juice at the bottom, dreadful. That's what Man United
look at some of the teams going into the Champions League this year, making their debut in the competition as well. Like there's quite a few that are definitely not competitive compared to where the top 7, 8 teams are in the Premier League.
And I think,
obviously, I know you can say that and Liverpool lost to Atalanta and things like that, but on the whole, and the financial ability that these teams have compared to some of the teams that are making their debut in the Champions League, Chelsea would have absolutely been okay, I'm sure of it, if they got Champions League football this season. You can say what you want about the injuries. The fact of the matter is, if they're in the competition, they have to field players, whether they're from the youth setup or not. They'll have to field something, or they'll field a limited bench to make sure they get 11 players out. The issue is, though, is that it feels like the process that was there, that was in place, that looked like patience was finally becoming a virtue and it was paying off, has just been interrupted massively now. Whether or not it's
gone back to the beginning.
They are, Martin, exactly. And I just don't know whether the board actually really wanted this, or whether the fact that Pochettino's asked them for something they feel is unreasonable, they feel like they have to be strong in their morals and act on that. I'm not sure. Or Pochettino has shocked them and decided to walk. None of us really know. What will be clear, though, is that we'll see where they're putting themselves. If they go for elite, they'll feel like Pochettino was a stepping stone. They've returned to where they feel they should be. If they go for someone along the same caliber as Pochettino, then it means they're restarting or trying to just pick up the process where it's been left. If they go for someone subpar to Pochettino, because don't forget, Pochettino came from his last club with a league trophy. If they go subpar and they go for someone who's comparable to Graham Potter, e.g. Thomas Frank, that means they are restarting right from where they came in when they sacked Thomas Tuchel, pretty much. And if that happens, I don't think Chelsea Football Club fans are going to be over the moon. I don't think the players are either, because they've now seen a good middle ground with a manager like Pochettino. If they go backwards...
Let's be real. Poch was never going to win, but to get something established, you could say he's probably a decent enough to get established. Would I take Pochettino at Man United? No.
Well, you
not
wouldn't.
really. No,
not just for like a stepping. Say he's a stepping stone, right? For a season, he could, and then Chelsea go with an elite manager. I can understand why they may have parted company. if they go backwards, I wouldn't be sure. But if Man United took him for a season and moved you back up to like 5th, 4th, 3rd, whatever, would you not be happy with that then if he was to go or whatever?
The only issue with me and Poch is more like, I mean, I don't mind him as a manager, but I just think he done well for what he did at Chelsea and that. But I want someone that plays at something a little bit different, personally.
So you'd rather a De Zerbi than a Poch?
Yeah, I'd rather De Zerbi because that's
this as well.
That's the route I kind of want to go.
Right.
Like that route, not
because your football's been dead. You just want to see
because our football's been so disgusting. It's like as Mons would say, been paying for depression pretty much. Just go to Old Trafford to watch that garbage. That I need to see something exciting.
But would you sacrifice results?
You got a lovely water feature, you know.
It's not. Wait, what? Huh? Oh yeah,
but you have a lovely water feature to watch.
Yeah. We got the lovely water feature that comes down every winter or sometimes in the spring. But it's just that like I don't mind what De Zerbi. Like I just want something that I can identify and know a next manager can come in. Like even a Michel, like I wouldn't mind him coming in or someone like that. Someone that can establish the attacking kind of.
Stop nicking our ideas. Hey, get your own ideas. Mate, stop this nicking us.
Well, we took 2 of your chains already. We took Barada's.
You know, look, you're trying to be Manchester City like you lot. Stop it.
No, what? You're saying, Martin, after saying you man are the scum and the way you've done things is the wrong way now.
I know they want to nick all our staff and board members and everyone else
I will speak for myself, and I know usually on YouTube you speak for a lot of your fan base, but for myself, right, I will say Man City are easily the best run club in the world. So easy on that note, I have no shame in to say I don't mind nicking one of their chains or 2. Are you mental? Come on, man. Like, they get the best people, and yet this is why I don't get onto Manchester City like other channels, and I don't really get onto them. I said it earlier stream. I was praising the shit out of City the way they do stuff because you can't get onto them because they win stuff all the time. I don't care about 115 and all that bollocks because guess what, people? Reality is that's going to get fucked off because if you don't know anything about the UK government as well, yeah, there's going to be something in that because they're not going to let it happen. So on that notice, they won't be charged guilty, so you can shut the fuck up on that part. And then it gets back to the football part of things, not the outskirt part of things. What I can see in front of me in terms of people doing their jobs. So on that notice, I want a nick a chain or 2, which is in my eyes, Wilcox is one of them, which they did let go. And obviously because for a bigger role, and same with Omar Barada. So and he's nearly, and I don't know, it's Daily Mail. I don't know whether to believe or not, and he's already nearly fucked up. Already, this club can't catch a break. You know, tapping up fucking.
You shouldn't be tapping people up as they're going along. It's not that.
Mate, last time I checked, he wasn't. It's not under Man United's name because he technically didn't work. He doesn't work for us until June. So on that note, if that is to be true,
so that's how you get around it.
It's Man City's fault. Yeah.
Omar Barada's on gardening leave, so that's another charge to us. You're going to blame us
100%
for Omar Barada's doing.
If it makes, mate. I've had such a crap season, probably the worst one I've had in about 10, 11 years, nearly.
You'll have a worse one Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly. So on that notice, which we're going to win, by the way, yeah, this is it's just no on the coffin, isn't it? But yeah, man, look,
I won't be on. I'm not here on Sunday, Monday, so I'm all right. I'm getting out.
Don't worry, everything's getting scrapped. Me, I'm changing, but things are changing anyways. I the only thing my saving grace is playing at the Molineux and slapping them 5-0. Like I said, 5-0 minimum. So if Mons doesn't score a brace, he's failed, mate. If he gets 1 goal, he ain't done better than his previous season. Do you understand?
Whoa, wait. Give me your expectations, bro. It's raining outside. You know what I'm saying.
No, it won't be on there. It'll be 19 degrees on Friday, mate. So, yeah. But yeah, look, moving on as well. Obviously, Chelsea this, Chelsea that. That's obviously the best next thing at the moment with the management systems and da. Talking of that, we spoke about it a little bit earlier, but Dawood, man, what more does Arsenal need to do to win? What do you need? Be honest. And I'm not getting on to you or about your manager or anything like that. What do you think?
But what more can we do? We've had the most wins ever in a Premier League season, most clean sheets, most goals scored, the lowest XG, the highest XG, the least shots conceded
for Arsenal,
and we still can't beat a Man City team that probably is the greatest Man City manager and Man City squad ever to grace the Premier League. And it's something where even Arteta said after the final game.
You mean for
We
this
need to
season
get-
compared to the wait, as in this season's team is
No,
is
as
the
in
best
like
one?
squad wise.
Oh, like
I
just
think-
since Pep's taken over, kind
yeah,
of thing.
Pep's taken over.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Just
Yeah, since Pep's taken over, and I think Arteta said even after the Everton game, he said we need to get 100 points. We need to get 95 points, and I think we're on a trajectory where we can get 95 to 100 points next season. And I think if we do one in the transfer window, I think there's nothing else to nothing. This if someone said it, one of my mates, Mohammed Salad, he was on another podcast and he was talking about if you look at Liverpool's greatest team with Jurgen Klopp, if you look at the greatest Man City teams, how many Arsenal players get in those teams? Like the team that won the league with the team that Jurgen Klopp won the league with, how many Arsenal players get in that team? I'd probably say two, three maximum. How many players get into this Man City team? 2, 3, probably.
is this a new Dode I'm seeing? Is this a new?
I'm being realistic.
Where's the real Dode that you're not the guy we know? This is mad, like insightful.
No. I'm being serious.
He's bored of being clipped. He don't want to do it no more.
Bro, this humble Dode is mad. We're going
you have to be realistic. You have to look at it. Where we've got a team where not that many players that we have get into that Liverpool team, get into that Man City team that won Premier League titles. We have to look at where we are, and I think if Arteta gets 2 more world-class players, 3 more world-class players, there's no excuse for him to win major trophies. And I think we're on a trajectory where we're getting better, we're getting more points, our team's getting stronger, our squad's getting stronger. We're now a solidified top 4 team where it's hard to get. I think Man United would beat your hand off if you told them they would be guaranteed to get top 4 next season. Spurs would bite your hand off. Chelsea would bite your hand off if you told them you're going to be guaranteed top 4 next season. I think Arsenal are guaranteed to get top 2 minimum next season. And
I don't think that's a guarantee, but nothing's a guarantee.
Because Liverpool are in a transition, Chelsea in a transition, Man United in a transition, Spurs are in a transition. There's no other team that I can see right now that.
But nothing's a guarantee. Nothing's exactly a guarantee though. Like the thing is, if you know football over the years, things can just flip on its head in an instant.
I think it has to be something crazy. I think we need to lose 5 first-team players.
That's what I'm saying. But that can happen though. That's the thing. We've seen it this year that a lot of teams. For yourself, you didn't really miss out on keys.
If
can
you
happen.
manage your team well, look at Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola since he's coming to the Premier League. No, but since Pep Guardiola's coming to the Premier League, when was the last time he lost 6 key players in one season?
No, I'm saying it can happen to anyone. It happened to us. After we won the league, we lost everyone, bro. Well, we lost almost the entire
season. Sorry, Dawud, how long for? Because we've lost 6 this season.
No, but I'm talking about key players.
Key players. I can name them.
Grealish, you can win the league without Grealish. You can win the league without Diaz. You can win the league.
So you're going to tell me now what's classed as key players? Okay.
No, but I'm talking about the players that for me that you cannot replace. If you lost Phil Foden the whole season, you can't replace him. There's no one in your team that you can replace with Phil Foden. There's not a player in the team. If you lost the whole season, Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne is 6 months.
The main one, I'll be honest. Every City player is replaceable apart from Rodri.
Actually, we know what, and there's 2 players that didn't play for them this year as well.
I promise you, City can lose. I'm not saying they can lose the whole 11, but I'm saying like City can win without De Bruyne. They've proven it even in the season. I think it was a Centurion season. When was it, Martin? Was it a Centurion season?
Well, what did he just say? What did you say? We can't win. We can't win without De Bruyne.
No. I'm saying you can win without De Bruyne. Like,
and not only that, Mons, we had our best start in the Premier League when De Bruyne was out.
So I've seen we've seen City do it without De Bruyne. We've seen them do it without Haaland.
We didn't have Haaland for 3 months.
Yeah, we've seen them do it without Stones. We've seen them do it without Diaz. Obviously, fair enough. These are more one individual. They're not like all at the same time.
Mons, do you know how many minutes John Stones has played this season?
He's only started
800 minutes. 800 minutes, something like that.
1,000 minutes.
Yeah. So for me, the only one that really proper derails Man City is Rodri. If you take out Rodri, then City are vulnerable.
So
it's evident.
Yeah, but and it goes to show you could even say if you're saying key players, can we also admit they didn't replace the key players, Gundo and Mahrez, properly? You could say they didn't really
Yeah.
get over
Yeah,
the
because
line. with them.
apparently we had a shit transfer window.
Which
Everyone was
in
doing
hindsight,
crisis
in
videos.
hindsight, it wasn't the greatest in City's perspective. It wasn't the greatest. You have to admit that.
No.
Like, yeah,
No, to me, it was just about the simple fact is, has it been our greatest season? No, it's been a different season. But
yeah,
you see,
100%,
this is
100%.
where I kick back. You know, because I basically held receipts, and I said I was going to keep receipts. You know, I understand that. You want to go back now to playing underdog and all this other stuff, and
I'm not playing.
Arsenal aren't this great because 3 months ago you told me you had the best defense, best midfield, great
I know.
assist, that and the other.
You know what it is? This is the first time. I think this is the second time ever. This is the second time ever that Man City have won every single game in their last 10 games. Was it 6 games? Sorry, 7 games. 6, 7 games. And they've only done it twice. The last 6 games of the season, they won every single game. That was 5 years ago when you won it, or 6 years ago when you won it, 6 years ago when you won it, and this season. They've only done it 2 times, but they've won every single game in the last 6 games.
What about 18-19? What about 18-19?
I'll show you.
18-19, it was 14 wins on the bounce.
Just to let you know, we won about 11 on the bounce.
Yeah,
No, I'm talking about the last.
Didn't you win 14 on the bounce in 18-19? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because that was when you were winning every game and we were winning every game.
Yeah. Because ours was like 13 or something, and yours was like a couple more games.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about what I said is the last 6 games of the season. Last 6 games. The last 6 games of the season. I can forward it to you, Kaz.
No. Yeah, but that can be misleading because that last season we'd won the league with 3 or 4 games to go. So then we went into beach mode and relaxed everything down, ready for the FA Cup.
Brentford and Brighton, right? I think it was the last.
Yeah, we had Brighton. We had Brentford at the last game. You look at that Brentford 11, Jesus, it was like kids. There was no first team out against Brentford. So you've got to look at it. Is it in a title race?
I think you have to.
Because they went to the last day. That was different.
I think we're moving away from the point, though. Genuinely, if we're talking about how teams deal with injuries, I think City are able to deal with injuries in a different way to other teams. I feel like if you take out Saka, Saliba, and Ødegaard from Arsenal, I think the drop-off is mad. I think, in fact, I'm not even going to say all 3 of them. Let me just say, if you take out a Saliba and an Ødegaard from Arsenal, I do think there is a drop-off. I don't think the drop-off is going to be crazy, but I feel like Arsenal are severely weakened. If you take out John Stones and KDB, I don't think the drop-off for Man City is that mad.
Do you honestly think?
Like, if you take out Virgil van Dijk and like
the thing is, let's ask a new question.
We're gonna for City, I just feel like they're able to, unless it's Rodri. They're able to deal with things a lot better.
Do you honestly think Man City would have won the Premier League if Kevin De Bruyne was out for the whole season?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yes. Because Phil Foden was fit, bro.
The game that changed the season was when Kevin De Bruyne came back from injury. The first game he came back from injury was against Newcastle. He played 20 minutes. He scored 1 goal and got the assist. The last minute of the game, got an assist. He came on. He was out for what, 6 months or something, 4 months or something like that. He came back after 4 months and they beat Newcastle, being 2-0 down.
Yeah, I saw the assist. I know the crazy
assist. And he was the reason why.
But for me, he was quite underwhelming after that, though.
There's so many games. Spurs game where they did nothing. Man City against Spurs.
Recently?
They didn't do nothing.
It was Foden though. It's Foden stepped up this time around.
Yeah, for me, it was the main ones are Foden on Rodri for me. And I'm not saying KDB ain't the guy anymore. I'm just saying if I had to put it in the order, it's Rodri and Foden at the very helm of the importance to Man City. I'm not saying cool.
This season, 100%.
Because remember, we're talking about hypotheticals here, innit? Like we're talking about hypotheticals, but KDB was out for the season long enough to show us that Man City can still put together significant games and
Well,
still win
the funny thing
in
is,
both.
Kevin De Bruyne was out the whole basically half of the season, and he got the second most assists in the Premier League this season. 10
Aye,
Premier
that
League assists.
it goes to show, man. Man's
No, the
it's mad, innit?
the standard of assists was shit this season. Watkins, the top assist was Watkins with 13 assists. That's knackered.
No,
That's
but I'm
not
talking
great.
about this guy was out the whole season,
That's
basically.
stinky as
Half the
fuck.
season, yeah. You know
I've
what?
seen
You know
Sane
the-
get 15 assists. I've
You
seen
know
Sane get 15 assists, bro.
Yeah.
Not you say key games. Can you remember Nottingham Forest a couple of weeks ago when they were struggling against Nottingham Forest? Who got 2 assists that game when they won 2-0? Kevin De Bruyne. That
I'm
corner.
not saying De Bruyne is not a key player. I'm just saying I've seen
Well,
City.
the amount of points
I've seen City function well enough for long periods of time and put together wins without De Bruyne.
But I'm saying the amount of points that they have accumulated with Kevin De Bruyne this season, they're not winning the league against Arsenal. Take
Maybe.
Kevin De Bruyne out this season.
Maybe.
No, but that's yeah. Okay, maybe maybe you're right there. But at the same time, we're saying that for City. But if we're gonna take De Bruyne out of Man City, then let's go and take Odegaard out of Arsenal and see if you guys.
No,
function.
but no, you guys are talking about Rodri and Foden were the only 2 players that were key.
No,
I'm
I said
saying
they're the most. They're the
Kevin De Bruyne as
most.
well.
I said they're the top 2, not the only. I said they're the top 2, bro. Not the only.
Well, it goes to show though, it's with Arsenal. Then it's not really a depth thing. It's just a quality thing in the end when it comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, do you think City are going to allow another season where they don't have a capable, good enough DM that can replace Rodri and play 8 and 6? I don't think they're going to allow that again. They're going to probably go get someone, whether it's a Bruno Gomes or whoever it may be. So they're going to that whole key, no Rodri, no play. Because before they had a Gundo could do that role very, very well. To be fair,
that's why Arteta said we need to get 95 to 100 points to win the league.
it's
next
the quality.
season.
Yeah, you need to find out. You know why they're so good? It's because Pep rotates all the flipping time.
Well,
All the time.
you're saying that like it's so easy.
Yeah, no, it's not.
100
it's not
points is big.
We have to get it because City are going to improve. You're going to spend another 150 million, 200 million. You're going to get a midfielder. You're probably going to get another winger because Grealish might leave. There's rumors. You're probably going to get a right back because Kyle Walker's 34 now. He's going to be 35. So you're going to buy 3 or 4 key players where you're going to get more points than 91.
They probably won't even get a right back. They'll probably just keep Rico and probably put a Kanji over there and go get a different
No,
type of left back.
they're looking at Frimpong.
So
true. There you go.
Literally, we're the only team I think that can stop City winning the league next season. And if they win 5 in a row,
Yeah, the more likely one is you lot. But the thing is, it's like I don't think it's going to be a 90-point season next year. I believe because of the quality of team, I believe this year has been such a drop off. Right, the only team that's going to drop off a little bit that's quite high is probably an Aston Villa and Liverpool. But I expect teams to get that little bit better. That's what usually happens in leagues, right? I think it's going to be relatively around the same like now, innit? I think if you want to win a league, the most you can afford to lose is probably 3 or 4 games max. And
see, I've got a more important question. I need to ask this question. Has Arteta signed his new deal yet?
Not yet, but it's looking likely.
Right. So technically, him and Pep are going into the last years of the deals.
both of them, yeah.
What are you going to say here?
No, I'm asking a genuine question because when Pep leaves, I know we're going to go on a downfall, and I know we'll be on not a downfall, a more leveler. If that makes sense. And I'm asking this. I'm not even doing this to look. You're smiling already because you think you know where I'm going. I'm not playing that game.
You're putting Fulton Dow's head right now.
Do you give Arteta a 4-year deal, for example? Load of money. Doesn't get over the line next season. You can't sack him because you just gave him a brand new deal.
Well, you can.
You can. You can.
I'm being genuine.
I'm not. That's all I'm asking because I heard it the other day. I think I heard Lawler say it, and it was a great point of which side. It is a decision time. If they go with Arteta now, they've got to go long term with Arteta.
Are you saying, Dan? Am I reading this correctly? Are you saying that City might go in for Arteta at this point as well as an option?
No. Because I think City will go after. I think they'll go after Miguel. Michelle, however you want to bloody announce it.
I think it's Michelle. I think it's Michelle. Isn't it?
Yeah. I think they'll go for the guy at Girona. I'm genuinely asking because it is an intriguing one because I'm hearing a lot of like the Arsenal fans seem to be split. Half want him out, half want him in.
I'll say 10% of reaction at this point.
once you sign that contract, he's there long term unless you're going to give him a shitload of compensation at the end, which is not what Arsenal do. Arsenal are not that kind of club to just sack up and pay 20 million back on compensation, for example.
I'm being genuine when I say this.
I'm just genuinely asking. I'm not falling on that.
I would rather lose any Arsenal player than Mikel Arteta. I'd rather lose any Arsenal player than Mikel Arteta.
Because it goes to show what's available out there is below
There's
par right now.
There's on the market. There's literally no manager available right now for me.
That's
available.
I agree.
That's better than Mikel Arteta.
I agree, unless you're trying to tap up a manager, which might be difficult. Like, and it's like
people are saying, "Oh, Zidane's available. Zidane's not coming to Arsenal."
But there's better managers out there that could go and win you a trophy straight away. There definitely is better. But the issue is that where does that leave you in a year's time, 2 years' time, when it's all gone to a mess again? But there's definitely managers out there that you could employ this summer, and Arsenal would be putting a new trophy in the trophy.
To win what trophy? You have to be. It depends on the trophy. If you say Champions League, guaranteed you're going to win the Champions League.
But no, I've got to jump now. No, I've got to jump. This is what really winds me right up. What is this? Depends on what trophy. You've not won enough in the last 20 years to play this what trophy game. This is part of the problem with Arsenal fans. You need to learn. You seem to think you can be away from the top table for 20 years, come back to the top table and go, nah, I want the top seat. Don't work like that.
No. I'm saying we've won plenty of FA Cups. We're called the FA Cup merchants. We've won plenty of FA Cups. If you guarantee a manager comes in, wins us the Premier League or the Champions League, then I'll bring him in. But there's no manager right now.
This astounds me. I'm
on agreement with that one. There's no manager right now that's going to come in and do a better job than Arteta. Because you're at risk of just resetting yourself all over again. That's the risk. But then again, it depends if you want to risk that to move on or not. That's the way football goes.
No, Kaz, winning breeds success.
No, I know that. There's no manager that's gonna breed them the guaranteed success that we all keep killing them for.
Bro, but which manager has competed against Pep Guardiola in any league and has won more league titles than him? No manager.
Well, we won more.
Mourinho won one league title against Pep Guardiola. Jurgen Klopp won one league title against Pep Guardiola in Germany and in England. So it's Pep Guardiola. Every league he goes to, he dominates in the league. So you're telling me which Thomas Tuchel, he struggles when it comes to league competition. He's a cup manager, Thomas Tuchel.
Wait, sorry, I thought he had like 2 league titles.
Tuchel?
Yeah.
Where PSG?
And Bayern.
Oh, I suppose so, yeah.
Bayern last season.
I don't know if you can. I'll tell you what, Tuchel ain't a cup manager. He's a trophy winner.
I ain't gonna lie though with Tuchel. I can't lie. His league runs on the better word, in my opinion, probably is not as convincing as anything else.
You have to be honest. From last season, it wasn't because of Bayern were good last season when they won the league. It was because of Borussia Dortmund bought them the last day.
No, but do you know where I kick back on it is?
They weren't this season.
No, but this is my thing. Sorry, Dan. Arsenal fans belittled Harry Kane for however long it was at Tottenham. When Tottenham were getting, you're laughing because you know exactly what's about to come out of my mouth. You sat there as Arsenal fans to a man and went, "Oh, you can't show 4th place to your grandchildren, Harry. What does 4th place get you? Can't show 4th place. Show them your medals, Harry. Show them your medals." You're now saying, you've made 2nd place a trophy and bollocks to the FA Cup and League Cup now. Then what you've done is you made 2nd place a trophy. And that's why you've got this major mentality that I have a major issue.
Martin, you should have seen the question that I asked to rattle the fan base. You should have seen the question I asked. I said, Martin, why is it when it comes to Spurs that Arsenal Arsenal uses a barometer of trophies to measure them by, but when it comes to themselves, they use progress to measure themselves?
Yeah,
you're loving that one.
You banter your biggest rivals, and you're doing the exact same thing. You're doing the exact same thing.
How are we doing the exact same thing?
Because you're making top 4. You're making top 4 a trophy.
We didn't make a top 4.
No, you know what? I'll defend him. I'll defend you on that part. Top 4 was made by Arsene Wenger made an achievement, which was the top 4 trophy. And all of a sudden, though, these days we all want top 4 and we all brag about it. Well, other than maybe City, but Obviously, Liverpool have bragged about top 4. Chelsea, me, myself at United. Like, it's not a trophy, but it's an achievement these days. So
nobody remembers second place, Cass. No one remembers second place. But if you win, but
Tottenham and Arsenal.
Monts, for example, can turn around and go League Cup, finish third, but I've got a medal. Cheers, lads.
Okay. If you, I remember it wasn't you. I remember a lot of people were saying last season when we finished second, when we bottled it, it was your best season to win the league. You'll never compete with Man City ever again. You're not gonna win the league.
No, I'm the opposite. I think this season was your best season. And
then people this season saying that because we didn't win it this season, now we can't win it again. It's like
no. I have no problem with you what in the Premier League. It's this Premier League or nothing job.
None of you guys had us finishing second this season, but if you told us beginning of
no, but I had you finishing first.
You are belittling the FA Cup and the League Cup. Why'd you belittle the FA Cup and the League Cup so much?
It's all you've known for the last 20 years.
Man City, and you haven't got the squad to go for every single trophy. It's hard to compete with Man City in the league, plus go for the FA Cup.
700 million.
No, you know what? I have to disagree with you on that part. You could have done way better in the league and FA Cup. At least
you stopped the kids out of it.
No. You were 3-0 down to West Ham, and you lost to a Liverpool team that wasn't a very. We played such.
I know. I watched. I went to a Liverpool.
You should have won that game.
I went to a Liverpool Arsenal game in the FA Cup at the Emirates Stadium. It wasn't that because you guys were good that knocked us out. Is that we missed 3 sitters that game.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah? We weren't good. Like there was no Van Dijk and Salah.
We didn't throw the FA Cup away. We didn't throw the FA Cup away.
There was no Van Dijk and Salah.
No, but I'm saying we didn't throw the FA Cup away. Is that we had an off day. We had an off day at the Emirates against Liverpool, and we went out, unfortunately. And people were saying we threw it away. We didn't throw the FA Cup away. We went for it. Mike Odegaard missed a sitter. Saka missed a sitter. Havertz missed a sitter. And this was a period before we went on that international break to Dubai where we were just struggling. We couldn't score goals. Yeah. We lost to West Ham. We lost to Fulham. We lost to Liverpool. We drew against Liverpool. We're just struggling. And we faced Liverpool at the wrong time. If we faced Liverpool after the international break, we needed that break because we were playing so many games, Champions League, Premier League, and we were in a period where we were playing too many games. The players looked knackered.
You mean the Liverpool with 3 academy graduates in our back line of 5?
No, but we just looked knackered. I remember we looked absolutely knackered. We're playing every 2-3 days, and we needed that 2-week off. After that 2 weeks, when we came back, we looked refreshed and we were looking like we were the same Arsenal from last season. And I think we faced up at the wrong time. I think we're just bad time.
No, I get it. You have been fabulous. Arsenal have been fabulous this season. My issue is, some of the fans talk like the Champions League is so easy, just go and win.
No, we're not saying that.
Takes teams 10 years to get it.
Oh, wait, what did you say, Dawood? None of us are saying that, did you say?
It takes teams 10 years to get
question. Comment below right now if your team is first in the Premier League table. Comment below right now if your team has a 40+ goal difference. Comment below right now if your team is still in the Champions League. If you can answer all of the 3 questions, then you've passed the test. There's no way, absolutely no way, anyone's going to stop us from winning the Premier League. Anyone's going to stop us from winning the Champions League. We're already in the Champions League quarter-final because the way we beat Brentford, the way we've been beating teams, people think Poch have got a chance. Oh my God. Everyone's talking about City winning the league. Everyone's talking about Liverpool winning the league. But no one's talking about Arsenal. Sooner or later, you will recognise us. Now that we're first, no one's going to finish above us. We might have bottled it last year, but this year is our year. I'm telling you that. We are not bottling it this year. No way, Jose, we're going to bottle it this year. The Premier League title is finally ours. After 20 years, it's finally back.
Oh, you know what? Dawood is the gift that keeps on giving, mate. Love it.
What's your obsession with Brentford, by the way?
Do you know what? Hey, Dan, do you know what's more embarrassing? They slapped all these teams 8-0, 7-0, 6-0, and City still finished top goal scorers in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's a bit mad. I didn't even. I actually only noticed that today. You scored 5 more.
What happened there? What happened there? Your goal difference was like plus 64 at one point. We finished level pegging. What happened?
Don't know. I doubt you're amazing though, man. I can't lie. That's what.
You know what it is. You would have done the same as well. You would have done the same if you're smashing teams 5-0, 6-0.
No. I don't. Cass knows I don't.
I would.
I
Still,
don't.
I still would do it right
I know
now.
you would. You would.
We're beating Man City in the cup final. The deja vu is gonna work. Yeah, man. I've lived it, and I remember.
Do you think you'll last longer than 12 seconds this time?
I mean, that's what she said.
That's what I mean.
That's a record. Michael Johnson says, Dawood, which 4 players are we signing this summer? To the City fan Martin, which 4 players are you signing? Mons, which 4 players are Paul signing?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Bruno, who I think
That's a whole new stream, that is. That's like a you want us to, we can just do a separate stream if you like.
No, I've got my 4. I think it'll be Bruno, Frimpong, Paqueta, and Savio.
You already signed Savio, though.
You already got Savio. You greedy prick.
Yes, technically still next season, though, isn't it?
I mean, you might need a new. If Edison decides he wants to jump ship, which I don't think he will, you might need a new second goalkeeper. Ortega might.
I think he'll go. I think that reaction. I think he's going to go.
I don't think he will. Pep,
No, you don't think the way he reacted, it explains it all now.
30 years of age.
Yeah, but but he ended up with a broken. I can't say it.
Orbital socket.
Jaw and orbital bone and all that. So he had no choice but to come off.
All right,
yeah, but it was the anger. I think that explains it.
No,
gone.
Haaland did it 2 weeks ago. Did you see Haaland with Pep 2 weeks ago?
No.
Haaland went mad at Pep when he came off. When did he score the hat-trick? Wolves. And he got subbed off in the 70th minute and he kicked off with Pep.
Yeah. By the way,
they're all doing it.
9 NUFC. You say Bruno isn't leaving this summer, but you ain't got no context to give us to say he won't because it's not.
Because he's told them all he has. He's told them all he has, but they forget he's got
I hope he doesn't go. If City get all them signings, that's off. I'll allow it, man. That was gone. Have you got a quick 4?
Yeah, Benjamin Sesko, Williams.
Really?
Williams from.
I'm trembling here. With these.
Sesko.
Are you going after the League Cup?
Bruno.
Who's Williams, by the way? Can someone tell me who Williams is?
Inaki Williams.
Oh, Inaki Williams. Inaki Williams?
Nah, Nico.
Nico Williams.
Okay, Nico Williams.
Yeah,
Nico Williams, Benjamin Sesko, Bruno from Newcastle, Bruno Guimaraes,
and Thomas Frank.
Centre back / left back.
I don't know.
You can't get Bruno. You haven't got the money at the time it's needed.
By the way,
money, don't worry about it.
If you saw,
you can't do the 100 million.
Why not?
No, that's what he said. Come out saying Arsenal can only go to 80. They're going to have to wait till after the 1st of July because it goes into the new calendar year for the financials.
I've got a few.
Interesting. Unless you get rid of someone quick. Go on.
Yeah,
go on.
Eddie Smith Rowe, 40 million each.
I've got
only 2 weeks.
I'd say so. Kudus is one of them for me. Kudus is one.
Gertrude.
He's quality. He's quality.
Yeah,
Gertruda is another one. That's 2. I still fancy Inacio. I still fancy an Inacio. I don't think it's possible, but it might be possible.
Really, he ain't been linked with you more recently.
Not recently, yeah. The links have cooled down, but you never know. And I'm kind of stuck between another midfielder and maybe another attacker. I think the 4th, I'm still a bit.
I think you need a DM, man. You need a DM.
Oh yeah, well you could say the DM that's at Feyenoord, the DM, what's his name?
Oh,
Max.
Viper.
Max Viper.
Leave him alone, man.
Yeah, Max Viper.
That's a baller. The only issue I have with him.
Max. Give me.
If someone similar to Rodri, in my opinion, that could be molded into Rodri, is actually Max Viper. Is actually him. They don't have much athleticism, but they're both. The only issue I have with him is I don't know how much strength he's really got. That's what worries me. I don't know about his physicality too. So where Rodri's actually quite built, but they play quite similar. Honestly, LFC have intensified their efforts to sign Chiesa this summer. That's interesting. I don't think you'd go.
How's Serie A fans in the chat? How's Chiesa been this season? I really forgot about him.
One player that I didn't mention. Sorry, instead of Benjamin Sesko, give me Marcus Rashford.
Why did you not say Gyökeres? 100 million, please, mate. From you lot. But after you say,
I think Arsenal are getting a takeover. Arsenal are having a takeover with all this money being splashed.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. But to be fair, their
what are you doing?
They're in a very good
Give me
financial
Marcus Rashford.
situation.
We'll show Man United how to actually develop a youngster.
It looks like Kay's had a decent season this season. To be fair,
Do
from what
you
I
mean
can
like
see.
Saka and run him into the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
exactly.
mean like
right.
that one? So you mean Saka can't even play on the last day because you've knackered him? Great, that one.
I would say Gyökeres more than Sesko. If you want to spend 24 million on someone that's already a bit more proven and a bit older, then I would say that. New Liverpool, Real Madrid, and PSG owners, leave him alone, man. This is who Man United's linked with and who I want. If you're talking Saliba levels of like, you could say in terms of is someone got a cat in the background?
No, I've got birds tweeting outside there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lenny Euro is when I say Saliba potential, I'm not saying he's like thingy. That's one. He looks like he's going to go Real Madrid will pick him up, man. PSG or Real Madrid will pick him up. But
I read somewhere that Danny Olmo and Liverpool were in talks.
I saw that.
I saw that with you.
That's why I knew about it because we've been talking with Olmo as well.
I wasn't sure if there was any groundwork with that though. I wasn't sure.
Like a more B-Tech version of Bernardo Silva. Way more B-Tech version.
His end product has always been janky, but as a player, he's good. His
dribbling is dirty.
He's a good technical little.
Yeah.
And I think his release clause is about 49.50.
You didn't.
I'm all for that. I always say Liverpool have too many athletes and not enough footballers. So I'm all for
that's what
I've always said.
We don't have either.
The funny, you didn't ask.
Our biggest athlete is Scott McTominay. Let it sink in. Scott McSauceless. Give me a break.
McTominay's prime.
Which four signings would take Chelsea and Man United to top 6 next season?
Next season? All right. Fuck me.
Top 6? Jesus.
Yeah.
Chelsea already in the top 6.
No, but like to solidify top 6 next season.
Thomas Frank.
Bloody hell. Have Chelsea upset you? Have Chelsea upset you somewhere?
Chelsea not finishing top 6 next season. They're not finishing top 6 next season.
No. I think
that's a big statement considering they just did.
You know
now there's a managerial vacancy.
That's why it's the managerial part. I think
you're telling me if Man United weren't this bad, Chelsea would be finishing 6th.
I think. Mate, I don't know, man. But I'll say Man United, I think it's easy for me.
But then you might argue that Chelsea were bad for 28 games of the season as well.
We might not have Europe, to be fair.
Hey, imagine you win FA Cup and Chelsea then get
I would say with Man United, sorry, I'm just trying to think of signings. Tadibo is one of them that has to be nailed on.
You have to get on the midfielder.
Michael Elise has to be another one. I would say the DM situation is a bit of a sticky one, but I'm going to still say his name, Manu Kone. I think we can mold him into a great DM.
Are you going to replace Varane? Are you replacing Varane?
Yeah, with Tadibo. So he's a right centre back it's very athletic and stuff. And I would say the last one for Man United to really have a base of a good 11. Either I can stick a centre midfield, which I don't think we need. I would go for it has to be another striker, unfortunately. I would have to stick with my left backs. Is what it is. Because he said 4. Yusuf Fofana, I'll take him all day long, but I would want that. I would say I would go for Sesko probably. No, actually, sorry, Ivan Toney. I would go for Ivan Toney, and I think that would give you a basis. Wouldn't say it's the greatest on earth, but Chelsea. I think Chelsea, yours is easy to pick. Centre back, yeah, 4 centre back DM, maybe a backup right winger and a striker.
DM, they got Lavia to come back.
They got loads. They got Lavia as well.
Yeah, but I think you need 2. I think you need 2, maybe.
Well, they might argue.
Kai Sado.
Because you know what? Lavia was injured in Man City Academy. He was injured for Southampton. Now he's been injured all season for Chelsea. So you can't rely on that fitness.
I don't disagree, Cass, but I think obviously they're going to be backing that potentially. If Conor Gallagher leaves, then potentially they'll go in for someone. They may. There's talks they'll go for Agate again.
Yeah, he's the
world on fire.
He looks like a Premier League player. He don't suit France.
Right.
How come no one's bought it yet? Because I feel like
PSG bought him last season, and he just hasn't set the French league alight, unfortunately.
Do you know who's a baller?
No,
Vitinha.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just taking his position. That's it. Vitinha's just that good. Wicked little player. Would I take Ainori in a heartbeat? But he looks like
he'd be unreal at City. You know, he'd be unbelievable.
Would you have Grealish, Dan?
Yeah, I would. I'd take Jack Grealish in a heartbeat.
Michael Johnson. Which big player each are Villa and Newcastle going to sign? I don't think it's about which they're going to sign. It's about who they're going to keep. I think I could say because they get them sort of signings that I couldn't really put my finger on. That it was, in my opinion, I couldn't say so. I don't know who you lot think, but
Haven't Villa got to sell? I read somewhere Villa
Apparently.
have to sell.
Oh,
apparently.
really?
Yeah.
But they
Yeah,
could
that
sell
was-
someone like
Sell,
Jacob Ramsey.
What's the
Oh.
jacked up centre back called?
What? Konza?
Konza.
Nah,
Who's Tyron
No.
Mings?
Carlos.
Oh, Diogo Carlos.
He's on roids, and he's huge, mate. Like, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the-
Diego Carlos.
Yeah, I reckon
Nah,
he'll
he-
go. He's on a fat wage apparently, and he's not worth it.
He's mint though. I can't lie. Bakayoko is a target for Liverpool this summer. The winger is validated. He's from PSV, by the way, right winger.
Yeah,
By
I see.
Arne Slot, the fee would be less than 50 million euros. You're dipping into that market that Man United got cost for.
Is it true that Man United have got like 30 million pounds to spend?
No, that's cash. People don't understand what cash is. The thing is, in January, we had 70 million cash. Now we apparently got 30 million cash. It makes no one knows shit. And I wouldn't put. I don't know what to believe or what to think, but I'll expect Man United to have some cash. Cash is a bit different to how much money you got in total spend. That's how it works.
Yeah.
United
Because it
transfer budget-
depends on amortizations, etc., and putting
Yeah,
it down
yeah.
over so many years.
Yeah, United's transfer budget this summer is a little bit more than 35 million in cash. They need to raise more money through sales. I agree. I think we need to sell before. I think we got a lot of baller youngsters that you should be able to develop in a season and whatnot. You got your Amads, you got Harry Amas as well, and so forth. Mate, sell the fucking players. It's time to trim the squad, not build it up with more players. In my opinion, just some key ones potentially. Honestly, as a Liverpool fan, if you lot don't know, but we are linked with attackers and defenders. Means Endo will play in the pivot, or Stefan Bajcetic. I think Bajcetic, he's a baller, or even Gravenberch. But let's see. Gravenberch is not maybe, but maybe. Michael Johnson. Apparently, Villa signed an Araujo, Barkley, and I saw the Barkley thing. Araujo. That's a bit mad. And Gonçalves. Who's
That is
Gonçalves?
disgusting. Araujo
That-
and Diego Carlos and Pau Torres.
Gone-
Oh, that's better than your defense, Cass. It's better than yours. And it's better than yours.
No, is anyone surprised by the Ross Barkley to Villa move?
Considering he was there before a
It's a good
little
deal.
bit.
It's a good little deal. It's a good little deal.
yeah.
But
other
remember,
than
I
they
think
have
we're gonna have
one-
a better
what,
backline than Man
isn't
United.
Buendia going to be back as well? Buendia, that's like a new signing, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Buendia's a baller, by the way.
Don't rate him.
Waller. What?
Proper baller.
Don't really rate him, to
Baller.
be fair.
Nah,
I think
he's a baller, Cass.
I think he's okay. He's an FM.
I always
merchant.
thought he'd go City, you know, Mons. Always thought he'd
Yeah,
end
but
up at City.
Dan, are you thinking he was a baller more?
That injury
Are
done his
you,
dirt, though, innit?
are you thinking more of his Norwich days than you are his Villa days?
No, I
Buendia.
think he's been good at Villa, but he's just had a lot of injuries, hasn't he? Like this season, he didn't even get started. Do you know
I
what?
just
Yeah,
thought- I never-
since
never
we
think he's
most
got
him,
to his
he's really
Norwich.
good with his head for like the smallest guy on the pitch. What?
Yeah,
I just always feel he's never got to the Norwich level at Villa. I don't know why. I do agree with you. I think he's a tidy little player.
I
'Cause
would
I
have liked
think
to
him and
see him under
Coutinho
Unai
played
a little bit longer, like a
Yeah,
little bit more.
yeah,
but
yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
like, the injuries.
That might have been wrong manager. Forest style.
Marcus Thuram. Marcus Thuram.
Yeah, Marcus Thuram is wicked.
Yeah, strike.
That's
wait,
the
what?
striker. You're
Striker,
thinking
Inter.
of Kefrem Thuram.
Yeah,
will fit perfectly in a double
Where's he
pivot.
in the French league? Nice or something?
Nice.
Yeah,
Liverpool
Marcus
next-
is he a winger?
Who?
Marcus,
No,
yeah,
Marcus
winger,
Thuram's a striker.
striker, Inter.
Winger / striker at Inter Milan. He went on a
Yeah.
free and he absolutely busted this year. Liverpool next to Trent, and he is cheap like Astrid Wet personality. Oh damn, she's just catching his strays. Personally, I don't personally rate Marcus Thuram. He's been linked with Man United, obviously Nice and stuff like that. But I've seen from what I've seen when he was playing at Nice, I just don't think he's got great fundamentals personally. I think when it comes to the basics, not really a rate. I think Gravenberch is a better option than him. He's not a DM either, 100% not. But yeah, I thought we would have got him. I thought when you lot were signing Manu Kone and Thuram, I was fuming when you was linked with Kone, fuming. But yeah, man. Other than that, look, we're gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna be back tomorrow with a good panel and whatnot, and pretty much might see the end of some of these panels as it's gonna get mixed up, changed, yada yada yada. And the summer, let it begin. I will be doing a watch along for the FA Cup final, my first watch along all season, and fuck me, wow, I don't know why I'm doing it, but I just thought, why not in it?
Double. Come on.
Yeah,
Absolute.
Come on, City.
What?
But if you win the league, bro,
Oh,
you win the FA Cup. You win the FA Cup. Nah, no chance.
whatever. Big up honesty.
don't
again with
worry,
the
we'll show you what winning. We'll show you what winning a lowly little trophy means.
No, we'll show you how it's done. Question.
I
where
was
is
trying to
Mancini?
Dowd, not you, because he
Oh.
doesn't rate the FA Cup.
Well, I'm telling Dowd, I'll tell him how to get it done over the line and it with a shit team. Question: where is Manu Kone and Andre? The hype around him died. I don't know what happened with Andre exactly, but I know Manu Kone is still at Borussia Mönchengladbach. He had a very good second half of the season. But Gladbach's team is not really the greatest as it used to be. They lost like Marcus Thuram and all that, but yeah, we'll see anyways, man. But big up, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 12. And yeah, man, see you lot there. Make sure you subscribe to everyone here. The channel's in the description below, including Dawood's as well. You can find that also name on TikTok. You got BDB Dan, you got Big Six Banch, you got Mancunian Way. But yeah, all in the description. Make sure you go follow them up. Don't be lazy. Go subscribe. Dan's nearly on 3K followers. Dan Monster's nearly on 10, right? And according to Martin,
We're trying to get a 4K. No, we want to get a 4K because 4's the magic number.
That was shit.